the play of Scoot Henderson as of late has been really, really good. And I know there's a lot of reasons as to why, and I know there's a lot of contributors.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever demanded anything of you before, but I'm going to demand that you got to answer this question the way I want you to answer it, because I know you, and I know if I ask you this, you're going to attribute the success to somebody else. But I want to know your role in Scoot's development, you being the Hall of Fame mind you are, you being the person that knows how to read pick and roll. What are some of those discussions you've had? I know some are between just you two. That's a player coach. We leave that between you guys. But what is some insight that you can give us in terms of how you really are the perfect person to me to coach Scoot?
In terms of just like pick and roll and reading plays, like that's something I took a lot of pride in, you know. And the game is just, you're trying to create an advantage in this game, you know, and most teams do it through pick and roll. Now, Scoot and I, we got different coverages on the pick and roll. You know, they try to go up under Scoot. They always went up over me because they're scared of me stepping back shooting it. So I'm always telling Scoot the most important part of your pick and roll, one, you got to it needs to be a two-way relationship with you and the big, whether it's you and DA, you and DC, you and Rob, you and WAP, whoever. Y'all got to spend time together in the mornings, practice, boom, to talk about setting up the screen, because you have to use your setups. If they just come and set a high screen, people just gonna run all the way under on you, meet you on the other side. So there are ways to negate that. You know, one, you got to set them up. They got to have a better angle on the screen. And then as soon as you hit that screen, as soon as you see a guy going over, you can never let him get back in front of you. Now you have the advantage. Boom, you're in the paint. The five's going to have to take you. Now your reads are easy. You got the low man there, or you got the lob. If the five takes you, your five is rolling down the middle of the paint. And not only that, teaching him, I've taught him that even when guys go under, there's a blind spot there. And I know that by just me guarding guys that I'll try to go under. As the screen comes, as I start to go under, that big is right there. There's a blind spot where I lose the man very briefly. That's when you got to turn on the burners. Because I'm going to try to run to a spot to catch you. But when I see you again, when you reappear to me, you can't be going at the same speed that I seen you last. You got to really turn that corner. Now, boom, you caught me off guard. I'm in the paint, I couldn't get there. So just small things like that that I'm teaching Scoot. Also, he's shooting it so much better off the pick and roll. When guys go under, explaining to him that once they make that commitment to go under, you can now take your time and shoot the shot. You don't have to rush that shot anymore. He's not going to go all the way under
and get
come
back
all the
over
way
the top.
back uphill to block your shot. You can take your time then. He's made a commitment. Now you got to get your feet set, which is most important. Balance, feet. That's the most important part of it. You know, so just things like that that he's really starting to pick up, and I've been really proud of him.
Can you answer more questions like that, please? And just tell us what you do. Because I know you're doing a lot, but you don't give it to us like that all the time. And you know, I know that is something that everybody respects about you so much. And that's why your team is together. We just saw a great victory last night of a team that is clearly together. They respect you. With us being shortly after the midway point of the season now, is this kind of where you thought the team would be? A young team, a team that's still developing, learning? Is this kind of where you thought things would be? Or are there any surprises?
Yeah, this is probably where I hoped that we would be. I hope that we would be pretty much healthy most of the year. I hope that I would have the opportunity to start different lineups and different combinations and, you know, play big some, play small. I had hoped that, and we've been able to do that this year. It's not a situation that I've had very much in my tenure here. And I had hoped that some of our young guys would take some steps, you know, and you look at all of them. I think they all are taking steps. I think Toumani's taking a huge step. You look at Shaden now, he's taking a huge step. DC, when he plays, I mean, we're a totally different team. Scoot, you look what he's doing. Chris Murray. You know, these guys are taking huge steps out there when they're playing. And I say young guys, those are the babies.
Yeah.
You know, and I still think Ant's very young.
Yeah.
You know, I still think these guys are fairly young. DA, these guys are young still. So I think that individually we're taking a lot of really good steps.
Yeah.
As you take steps, your roles start to shuffle around. All right, who we playing through? Man, who's facilitating? Who's taking the top? Those things start to change as the roles start to change with more playing time, and this guy's okay. We can play through him more. For instance, you know, I use shading in a lot of like wide pin down things and dribble handoffs, but now we've discovered he's been really a pretty good pick and roll player.
Yeah.
He's making some reads that I didn't see.
Yeah.
You know, he's making some reads over the top, some passes that I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's develop some more of that. You know,
individually,
great.
or
Yes.
as a team, or a mixture of the two.
Well, both.
Okay.
Well, both. But I'm saying just individually. You know, watching Shaden kind of manipulate defenses a little bit and change speeds in the pick and roll has been pretty good for us. Now you can get some other guys off the ball. As a team, I think him developing, you know, the relationship with the bigs in the pick and roll is going to be another level that I want to try to get to, you know, coming up here. But yeah, I think the halfway point, you know, we've been up, we've been down. You know, I would love for our defense to be more steady.
Okay.
We start the season off and our defense was far ahead of our offense, you know, at the time. And then, you know, guys start getting banged up, you start changing the lineup, things start to happen, and then familiarity starts to happen. And now Deni starts to take a step. We didn't even talk about him as one of our young guys.
We're going to.
He takes a big step offensively and defensively now. Again, roles start to shift around. So I've been very happy with where we're at. You know, I would love to have a lot more wins, and we've had the opportunity to win games that we've kind of faltered in at the end, which is also a part of the development. But yeah, I'm happy with where we are, I really am.
You said it, so we're going there. Deni.
Yeah.
I made a comparison, not a apples to apples, that he is this guy or these people. But as I've been watching him, I feel like when he gets out in transition, he has a similar effect. So not saying he's this person as a career, but he has a similar effect as when Giannis gets out on a break. LeBron gets out on a break. The freight trains where the defense starts to collapse before he even crosses half court. And times they don't. Then it's an and one, or it's a foul, or it's an open shot to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see that same thing in him? And is there any, maybe not a direct comparison, but is there anybody that when you watch him play, you think, man, he reminds me of that guy?
I definitely see that in him. And you can look at our team, we need it. We feed off of it.
Yeah.
We love it. It's like it's one of the things that I'm always telling Deni. The main reason why I want you to rebound is because you're a one-man fast break. And that's your play. I always thought that as a guard for me, you know, you're trying to make everybody else happy. When I can rebound it or I can get it kicked up to me in transition, that is my play.
That's interesting. So you framed it to him
play.
that way early.
That's your play. That's your play. Go
and
get
you
it.
can call that anytime you want to.
You got to go get it.
Yeah.
It's your play.
Yeah.
Especially at the time when he was struggling offensively at the start of the season, trying to find his way. New situation, new team, new coach, trying to figure it out. That's the one thing you do know.
Wow.
Get that rebound.
Yeah.
And then he started getting the rebound. He started pushing it so fast, realizing nobody was down there with him.
Yeah.
So I said, do it a few more times. They'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
If not, shoot it. I don't even care if you miss it. That's going to give me a chance to get on the other four guys and say, what y'all want to pass y'all the ball? You want to throw it back there to y'all?
Yeah.
So it just kind of worked out, you know. But he is, I agree with you, he's a one-man fast break. He's a freight train coming down so strong.
Yeah.
But those names you mentioned, that's in terms of impact.
The effect it has. Yeah.
The effect, 1,000%.
Yeah.
We've seen it to a degree when we had Josh Hart.
Yep.
Remember, Josh was a great rebounder, pushed it. I think, you know, he has a little bit more ball skills than Josh maybe, but in terms of the toughness, the grit and to get the rebound and then push, and be able to score it. There's not very many guys in the league that are like that.
When you say that's your play, is that your creation, or had you heard that from the coach before? I don't know. I've heard the concept of go create your own. But to say that's your play, I don't know that I've heard it framed that way.
Well, I just felt that way when I played. But a coach would always tell me, because, when you're a point guard, you got 4 guys that think they're open on every play. And so you're always looking to find ways to, when am I open? And so before the defense gets set, they kick that ball up to me, boom. There's no play call, there's no nothing. We just kind of free-flowing. That's my play, that's my time to get busy. And so I just always remembered that. And then there are certain guys, I tell Scoot the same thing. Get that rebound, boom. Until somebody gets in front of you, you should be shooting it every time. Now, when they get in front of you, they told you the answer to the test. You got to kick it. They gave you the answer. If they ain't in front of you, it's your play, bro. Just go do your thing. So I just always kind of remembered that.
I like that. Toumani, another one of those young guys. When I watch him defensively, I have a hard time finding a weakness. And I try to look at him critically. I try to look at him when you guys play zone. I look at his closeouts. I look at him off the ball. Look at him on the ball. I look at him at the top of your zone, at the bottom, help and recover. I have a hard time finding a weakness. Now, the same way offensive players, they go to the gym, there's something that they say, all right, I'm good at this, but there's also this I need to fine tune. If you had to pick something on the defensive end for him to fine tune,
the one thing I would say as his coach, and I'm the one that could be critical, what I want for two, and he's going to do it because he's that good, as disruptive as he is on the ball, on the ball handlers, I want to be able to take him off those ball handlers sometime, because it might not be a guy that is going to, is not one of their main factors. But their best player is a 4-man or the 3-man. I want to be able to put him on him and he'd be just as disruptive. And that's his next level to me. He's really amazing on the ball right now. I want him to get that good off the ball, and I want him to talk more. And he's getting so much better at talking, by the way. But I want him to become the voice of this whole thing, because he's the spirit of it. He's our spirit, But I want him to be the voice too. And he's getting there. But you're right, man. The dude I think he's one of the very best in our league already. What you said brought another idea to me, a thought of how do you coach that when, like if a player's really good offensively, like you in your career, if you came down every once in a while, you had a 25-footer, you want to pull up, you can pull it up, and coach probably wasn't tripping a whole lot because you showed that you can do that. So when you're in that situation where Toumani's guarding his man, the coverage is switch, but he didn't need the help. He didn't need a switch, but it's what you wanted him to do as a team. Is there a balance there of sometimes? Okay. There's definitely a balance there. And the more that our guys play together, those other 4 guys will recognize it. And I want him to be the type of guy that can play any coverage or any scheme and be just as disruptive.
With whoever he's on the floor with.
With whoever. Like he's that special.
With DeAndre Ayton. I know you talked a little bit about some of the conversations you talked to Scoot about the conversations he needs to have with his big man. So did you have that situation in your career where there were conversations that you had to have with your big to know which buttons to push, to keep him active, that you've been able to now transfer? Because we talked earlier about how the conversations with the big has helped Scoot and the guard get his. How have those conversations also led to helping the big man get his out of that partnership?
We've had to just open up the discussion, letting them work out together. I watch film with them together. I'm looking at film, I'm looking at the pick and roll, and I'm asking them what you see before I tell them what I see, because I want to know what they see, and then there's so many levels to this. The levels that I'm gonna talk about are like, they probably don't see that yet. So I just kind of keep quiet. I ask them, what you see here, what you think we could have done better, just to get them talking. Scoot say, man, you know what, I went too fast. That's my bad, DA, boom. DA might come and say, you know what? I set that screen at the worst angle. I shouldn't have let him get under that. And then once they start talking about it, then it's like, all right, when that screen is set, DA saying, well, how long you want me to hold that, Scoop? Boom, not long. As long as he goes over the top, bam, I want you to roll. And then I'm telling him, Scoop, your read is, okay, there's no big in the league that can backpedal faster than DA can run forward. So now when you come off, that big is in a little drop, he's backpedaling. DA's running forward. There's no way he's going, he's done.
Yeah.
You got him, you did your job.
Yeah.
Now you got to read the next guy.
Yeah.
So you get them talking.
Yeah.
And then they start to kind of figure out and understand it. Yeah. And then I'll ask them, all right, DA ain't had a shot in about 3 possessions. What we running for him?
So you don't tell him what to run for him?
No.
You put it in
Not
his
yet.
court? Yeah.
What we running for him? Probably, you might say, our play. Why, though? What side of the court you bringing it up on? I said, no, why would you bring it that way?
Because the side impacts where the shot ultimately might be taken.
Well, the impacts where DA's going to catch it, which hand he's dribbling with.
Yeah, all of that.
You got to think all the way through this thing.
Man, that's good stuff.
Okay, so if you bring it up on this side, when you do hit him in the pocket, which hand is he dribbling with? Which way does he like to go? So, like, I'm asking them all these questions to make sure that they give it to me.
Wow.
Before I don't want to, drown them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that relationship, even with the big fella Donovan, DC,
Rob,
man, it's gotten so much better, man. All of them, And now I'm adding Shaden in some of this stuff because I want to do a little more pick and roll with Shay. Deni's, it's the reason why I think a lot of our offense has gotten better.
Yeah.
The bigs are screening better. The guards are reading more.
Yeah.
So
more lobs we're seeing.
We work on it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We work on it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the communication right now with the team? I know you said you had a quiet team.
Yeah.
Has that improved?
It's getting better.
Okay.
Yes, it's getting better. In particular, over the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, it's noticeably getting much better on both sides. In terms of just talking, but also in terms of just holding each other accountable out there. And knowing that you're not going to hurt that guy's feelings if he missed the coverage and you let him know. Just like he can't hurt your feelings when you miss the coverage, because we all will. So I think it's going good. Our communication has gotten so much better. And as you know, being a hooper, you know that there's so many things that happen out there that are that are not planned for, that if you don't talk,
you're in trouble.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. And we see that a lot with us because we got a lot of very quiet dudes. They're starting to figure that part out, and it's been fun, just kind of watching it,
Yeah. Last thing for you, Coach, as we go to the second half of the season, ultimately, what are you hoping, expecting to see from your squad?
Yeah, Lamar, I just want us to keep getting better. I want our young guys to keep taking steps. For instance, yesterday was one of our more complete games. Both sides of the ball, we were so locked into the game plan. We were so locked into the execution, knowing that this team was going to play zone most of the game, and it doesn't happen very often. Take some focus. Man, we shared the ball so nice. Nobody holding it, no real ISO. We just play right. And you live with the results when you do that, and I just want second half of the season us to just be more consistent with that. Do it better. Do it better. I think the more you do that, the less you turn the ball over, the less, certain things just start to get better. So to me, that's what I hope for the team, that we all personally start taking little steps, and then collectively as a group, our defense gets better. We hold each other accountable more. We make teams work harder for their shots. Offensively, we're pushing, we're spaced, and we're sharing it. We do that, we live with what happens.